I'm actually going to read something I wrote while I was here. So all you need to know is that my character is, at this point in the story, is 15, and she's killed her little sister in a car accident. And she lives in rural eastern Montana, where she has access to no mental health care or grief counseling. So she's developed her own mechanisms for recovering. As soon as I hear the television in my parents' bedroom click off after the sleep timer ends, I pick up the shoes I left next to my bedroom door and tuck them under my left arm. I grip the brass doorknob and twist it, centimeter by centimeter, until the spindle unlatches from the jamb. I pull the door back exactly 7 inches, just enough to let my slim body through, but careful not to breach the 8th inch, the spot at which the hinges betray. I swing my leg wide so that my foot lands on the strip of carpet that feels plush and newly laid, despite the rug's 10 years. The outside of my right knee knocks and brushes against the wall as I creep towards the kitchen. A ray of dim yellow light stretches across the end of the hall, marking the start of a new space. My ribs ache from holding my breath, but I'm not sure I will be able to breathe even in the cool night air when I reach it. I force my body to take in a long, silent inhale and then release a slow, uneven exhale. When I reach the door that leads outside, I stop short and stare out its window. The sky is tar, a black shadow pulled across this part of my universe. No stars, no moon, no streetlights, not here, not 8 miles from town. But I can see the shape of the thing anyway. Smooth, clean lines of navy-colored metal, pristine glass that hasn't yet known what it means to shatter. An engine that turns over with ease. I place my shoes on the ground and slide my feet into them. Then I reach up and slip the keys off the hook. The metal ring leaving its metal home tings. A small sound that feels as if a lightning bolt is shaking my brain. Again, I twist the doorknob centimeter by centimeter, then pull the door back into place, careful to keep it quiet. There is no wind tonight, and yet the frigid air seems to rush at me, finding its way into the seams of my clothes. There are 16 steps between me and Mom's Honda. My feet do not move. 16 steps to the driver's side door. Just 16 steps to take. My feet do not move. My knees do not bend. The socket that allows my legs to rotate and propel me forward is still. 16 steps. I wrap my hands around my right knee and jerk my foot from its rooted place. My foot breaks through the crust that's formed on the top of the snow with a sound that seems to reverberate off the sides of the house and barn. I walk stiffly and clumsily. Each step crunches louder and louder until it feels as if the sound is coming from inside me, bones cracking and crumbling. I trail my fingers along the gap between the hood and the side fender and rest them on the frosted glass. I press my palm and all 5 fingers on the windshield, the heat of my skin temporarily melting the thin layer. I uncurl the fingers on my other hand, each one slowly opening but staying crooked like an old man's back. The shape of the keys imprinted in my skin now knowing the shape of the inside of a lock. I click the unlock button 3 times, even though I only need to do it once. Just the act of pulling up on the handle releases the door, and it opens as if on its own, asking me to come in, to sit down, to move. I do as it says. I sit in the worn gray seat and shove the key into the ignition. I become aware of my blood, the throbbing river of it. The scar on my skull pulsates like a caution sign, like a warning light. Go back to bed, it says. I don't. Instead, I grip the leather steering wheel. I turn the key, I press the brake, I pull the gear out of park, I release the brake. The car rolls forward. The throbbing is more intense now. There's a knife in my ribs. The windshield is cracking. It starts slowly and then spreads quickly, like a brush fire on a hot summer night. My hair dangles, I'm upside down. The metal is pressed together, twisted, the way a beer can is smashed before it's tossed. The seatbelt slices into my skin, all 133 pounds of me pressed against it, suspending me, saving me. I can sense her. I don't want to look. But my eyes, have strings attached to them, pulling me to look at her. I can't look at her, I can't look at her, I can't look at her, I can't look at her. Am I screaming? Suddenly, a flash of white centers me. The car is rolling straight for the fence. I punch the brake. We're in the air now. We will turn 3.5 times, a clumsy, loud somersault, a smashing, crunching, screaming somersault. I can't look at her, but I can't hold off much longer. The pull is now a yank, and I stop resisting. The seat is empty. I slam into the car into park and turn the engine off. I rest my forehead on the steering wheel. Hot, angry tears stream out of me as my shoulders rise and fall in racking sobs. I pull my knees to my chest and brace myself against the door. I stay like that until light breaks over the horizon. I quietly let myself back into the house, back to the kitchen, back to the hallway, back to my bedroom, back to my bed. I want to go back and back and back and back. Instead, I count.